Hi, and welcome to Lunch with Lisa. And today, I'm going to show you how to make shaker chicken pudding. It's Lunch with Lisa. Hi, I'm Lisa, and welcome to my channel, where I share quick and easy healthy meals with you so that you can have lots of delicious food at your disposal when you're trying to eat a little bit more healthier, or if you're trying to go on a diet and you're trying to lose some weight. I try to make things a little bit more healthy so that you can reach your goals. And I was brainstorming with a friend, and he said it would be fun if I made food throughout the decades. So I thought, oh, that would be fun. And I thought it'd be fun to give it a try and look up some recipes from each decade, starting with 1900 and working our way up until now. And I decided to pick out popular dishes from each decade and then try to make it a little bit more healthy or modernize a little bit better so that, it'd be more palatable and fit your calorie budget a little bit better. So a popular dish from 1900 to 1910 was chicken pudding, believe it or not. Probably like a creamed chicken type dish, chicken and rice. We grew up with that in the 80s. My mom would use cream of chicken, soup, cream of mushroom soup, dump it all together with some rice and chicken and cook it together. It's delicious, but I wouldn't make that today. So I scoured the internet for some good chicken pudding recipes because I didn't really like the ones I found in the old recipes from 1900. They're a little questionable and seemed a little tedious and time consuming. Of course, because they didn't have our modern conveniences. But this recipe really modernized it a bit, and I will link that down below. And I'm also going to tweak it just a little bit so it fits your calorie budget a little bit better. I was able to get this from 530 calories per serving down to about 308 calories per serving. How cool is that? All I did was I swapped out 4 ounces of butter for just 2 ounces of butter. So I cut the butter in half, cutting out a lot of the fat, cuts out a lot of the calories. And I left some of the butter in because you do need some fat, and butter is delicious. We gotta use it. It also calls for cream, and instead of cream, I just used whole milk, which slashed the calories a bit with fat again. Makes a huge dent in the calories. So awesome. And the rest I pretty much kept the same. I just used unsalted butter versus salted butter, so I could control the salt a little bit better. For this recipe, you're gonna need 2 to 3 cups of leftover white meat rotisserie or cooked chicken breast. I used this rotisserie chicken from Costco. They're so cheap, so delicious. Just peel off the skin and dice it into 1 by 1 inch cubes. And 1 large apple, diced. It's about 124 grams of apple. Then 1 cup of sweet onion, roughly chopped. It's about 160 grams. And 1 cup of celery chopped. It's about 95 grams of celery. Then instead of 4 ounces of butter, we're only going to use half a stick of butter, so 2 ounces of unsalted butter. Then you're going to need 4 ounces of fresh pressed apple cider. Now, this apple cider is a little bit different than your normal apple juice. Apple cider you'll find in the refrigerated section of your store. It is fresh and you have to drink it within 7 days. So this is a good recipe. If you feel like you can't drink all of your apple cider within a week, you can use 4 ounces of it for this recipe, or you can make this recipe a couple times and use some of that apple cider up. Or I wonder if it'll freeze into ice cubes so you could save it for later. That would be I might do that. And of course, you'll need some salt and pepper. Then a pinch of fresh nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, about 15 grams, and then 12 ounces of cream, or in this case, I substituted whole milk. Then you'll need half a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, which I didn't have, so I went ahead and made some myself. Using a slice of my sourdough, I slice it up and put it in the freezer. So I just thawed it out, let it dry out a little bit, and blended it up. And then you have fresh breadcrumbs. And then half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. This gives it a lot of good texture. You're gonna heat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then pull out a 9 by 9 or 8 by 8 inch dish. You can use a glass dish for this since all our ingredients are pre-cooked. It's not gonna matter so much. That glass is inferior to metal. So if you wanna use a metal baking dish, you can as well. But grease this liberally. It says using 1 ounce of butter, but I just used the whole stick and rubbed that on as much as I could so that every inch was covered with some butter. Then set that aside. And in a medium non-stick saute pan, gently saute your apples, celery, and onions in about half of your butter. I used about a tablespoon. Saute these until soft, about 5 to 8 minutes. Then you're gonna add in your cider, your nutmeg, and salt and pepper. Just note that you can peel your apples if you want. I chose to leave the skin on. Then you're gonna simmer this on very low heat, cover it for half an hour until the vegetables are really soft. Then melt about a tablespoon of butter and add it to the flour and whisk it until the flour is incorporated. Add this to your pan of vegetables, then add your milk and bring it to a boil. Allow this to cook over high heat for about 2 minutes. It will totally thicken up, and then remove it from the heat or turn the heat off, and then add the chicken and stir it up. So in a small bowl, combine your breadcrumbs with the rest of your butter melted and then stir it to combine. If you're using homemade breadcrumbs, go ahead and add some dried herbs to enhance their flavor. Then pour the chicken mixture into your prepared baking dish and then top it with the breadcrumbs. Bake this for 20 minutes or until your casserole is bubbling. It took exactly 30 minutes to start bubbling. Serve this over your spätzle, wide noodles, or rice. So I have about half a cup of rice here in my bowl. All right, this makes 6 servings. It's quite a decent sized portion, I'm not gonna lie. So the totals for this come out to be 406 calories, 25 grams of protein, 48 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of fat. Not too bad with a half a cup of rice, or you can ditch the rice and just eat the chicken. Because the chicken by itself is only 308 calories with about 22.4 grams of protein, 26.4 grams of carbs, and 12.5 grams of fat. So let's give this a taste. You guys, that is so good. Got the chicken, celery, the sweetness of the apple, and the creaminess of the sauce. I can see why this was popular, if they made it like this ever. This is good. Oh yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go enjoy my dinner. I won't eat in front of you anymore. I know some of y'all hate that. If you really enjoy this recipe, the next one coming up is also from 1900 to 1910, and it's gonna be a dessert. I wonder what that'll be. Come back and find out. All right? See you in my next video. It's lunch with Lisa.